Hello everyone.
Hello.
Today we are having something that is, well, I wouldn't say it's not art related, but it's not drawing or painting related. We do have
Hama beads.
yeah, that's what they normally are called. I have to say to this is more my territory because I have been using them in the past. Those are basically like those, I think in the US you get them under the term Perler beads or under the name Perler beads.
I think it's Perler beads.
Perler beads, yes. But they're more or less, I think they're actually the same thing. It's like these little beads which you put on pegboards and you can make like nice pictures with them. And in the past I bought actually an official product. This was like an assortment. I'm not quite sure anymore what I paid. It was less than for what these go today. We paid like about 80 cents for one of these little bags on Temu, which has 500 and another 500 is 1000, which means we paid for 1000 beads €1.60. Because I thought, hey, let's try them out. Maybe you can cut some costs here, because the Hama beads and also the Perler beads are very expensive normally.
Yeah.
Expensive is always relative, but they are not really cheap.
Yeah, and 80 cents just seems cheap for 500 of these.
It seems cheap unless or until I actually went on Amazon to see what the official product, well, the Hama beads now these days costs, and you can get like an assortment of 13,000 for the price of €17.45. Which means, as I quickly calculated, that you would pay around the price of €20 for the same amount of these, which means those are actually more expensive.
Which is kind of disappointing if you think about it.
Yes, especially since these are, well, I suspect cheaper versions of the official product. I have been reading reviews online. Some people say they work fine. Other people say they sometimes don't stick correctly together. I can't really tell because I haven't used the cheap ones yet. I only know the real quote-unquote ones. Oh yeah, I haven't really explained how you actually make pictures with them.
Yes, could you show how you would actually go about doing this?
Yes. I mean, let's just like open one of these up. If I can get them open. And then I need to pay attention not to make a huge mess because these are tiny, as you can see here. Okay, this shall be enough for us for the moment. You can see there's one already rolling away and here's another rolling away. Those are basically like the tiniest ones.
So yeah, this is what they look like. They're small little beads, really.
Yes. And the idea here is to put them on like a pegboard like this ones. Now, if you buy also the official sets, normally they come with way smaller pegboards and they normally have like shapes because they are more geared towards children. Which is, in my opinion, like a little bit of a pity. Even when I was younger, when I was a child and I would be presented with something like this, I would have wanted the freedom to do whatever I want with it.
Yes.
But whatever, but you still can buy these without problems on eBay, on Amazon, or anywhere where they also probably sell the actual product. I think I actually had to order mine back then, but that was years and years ago. So maybe these days it's easier. But yeah, you will need these to do anything else but the little things they let you do out of the box. And the idea is that you basically put these on these pegboards. You see here they stick. Well, they are basically being held by these little pegs. And this way you can basically make like a little mosaic.
Oh, so that's how you do it.
Yes. I'm just like putting like some random bits together. Obviously you would like search for those similar colors, not unlike what you have seen when we had the diamond painting video a few weeks ago. Just with the difference is that you basically can pick and choose the colors that you need. People make like very impressive art with it. Usually it's like pixel art that you see, but there are also people that basically make freeform art with it. But I find them especially useful because I like the old computer aesthetics of old game graphics like pixel art, whatnot. And we can actually put like a photo somewhere here of what I already have hanging against my wall. It's probably easier than if we take the camera off now and go to the wall and film it.
Oh yes, I'll add a photo in over here.
Awesome.
As you can see, this is added to the wall, and we basically use it as a note holder.
Yes, I mean, it wasn't really the main idea behind it to use it as a note holder, but it can be. The characters that you are seeing, I think the left one, I can't really recall what it's called anymore. I think it's from the game called Cave Story, which I played at this point in time. And the right one is Mega Man, or Rockman as it is known in Japan. And the base is basically just me like putting some colors together so they have something nice to stand on, like a lawn or whatever. And then I noticed after I actually put them with nails against the wall that you can actually very nicely put stuff behind it and it sticks. So it's very decorative, and it also fulfills a little purpose for me.
Yeah, I like it.
So now you can see these, the cheap ones and also the original ones, they are very much different colors, and to do anything with it you could actually either like just put them on the table and just pick and choose, but that would be not the easiest part, especially if you have something certain in mind that you are doing with it. So you can buy something like this.
Yeah, we showed this off in our diamond painting video when we were talking about you know, getting started with diamond painting and how to basically organize your drawers. So you can basically do this over here as well.
Yes, it's a little bit of work, especially if you buy the all-out 13,000 bead set, but it will be so much easier in the end when you have everything to do actual things that you want to do with them than if you just have to pick and choose. Obviously, if this is meant to be like an activity for children in the rainy afternoon, they will be fine with this. But if you want to do something that is like more sophisticated and decorative and to hang against your wall later on, you will want to sort them beforehand, because otherwise it's just a nightmare.
No, I can see how it can be a nightmare, because it's going to take a while to actually sort these, you know, into little groups.
Oh yes, I mean, I can just quickly show, this is my original container. This is what I bought back then. I bought this container right with it. Those are basically leftovers of what you just saw on the wall. So yeah, I mean, the container, you can get like different ones. I mean, this is just like a hobby container.
Oh, so that's what opens.
Yeah, this is not like something that is like branded or anything. This is just a cheap plastic container to keep them a little bit separated. You can see I wasn't that great with separating everything at all when I moved last time. Fell into each other, so I would have to sort them out again. But yeah, just quickly that. So, what we thought we are doing now, since these are, well, the knockoff brand ones, I was thinking I will be seeing what I can do with those. We will be putting a little time lapse here. And after that, we also show you how to actually make them stick together, because they have a trick. Of course, once you have them on the pegboard and you turn it around, they will fall down, unless you iron them with a just normal flattening iron, which fuses the plastic together, and basically then it sticks like what you just saw on the little picture we put there of my already done ones. So we shall do a jump cut here, and if you like, you can watch me putting something together, and then we see each other after the time lapse. Okay, little add-on to what we already told you. We've been sorting out one of these bags now into one of these containers, and one thing became very apparent. The ratio of colors isn't really that well. I mean, you can see you have like 3 neon ones here.
Yeah, 3 neon greens. We got like 4 of these, like, no, sorry,
weird
5.
grey off-color, silver, whatever it's called.
Yeah, only 5 of those. So many of these.
I mean, it's
Lots
good
of
that you
yellow.
have the more prominent ones also in larger numbers, but what is that?
Yeah, no, the ratio is really weird.
I remember when I bought the original Hama ones, this is not a sponsored video, but Hama, if you want to sponsor us, send us stuff. But the original Hama ones that I bought, they were like very evenly spread out. Of course, you need some colors more than other colors, like for example black or white or, you know, or blue. But I never had the issue that I had just like two single colors of something, which you can't really do anything with unless you want to put ice on something or whatever. But that's already very disappointing. We shall see how this goes now when I actually put stuff together. We shall also sort out the other bag.
Yeah. We
shall do that off camera because we don't want to bore you. And yeah, just so far.
Yeah, we'll see how they look with two bags combined to see if the ratio is still going to be this weird, or is this one going to have a weird assortment in the different direction. I don't know.
Well, as much as I can see, it's probably same-ish, if I would have to guess, but we shall see that. So, As you could see in our little time lapse, I made this Totodile. I'm not the Pokemon specialist, that's my wife, but I like Pokemon, but I never learned all the names by heart. My wife can recite at least a few hundreds and something.
Yeah, I can.
I can't. But yeah, I like the sprites, so we chose this. Also because we have a very limited range of colors to work with. You can see, maybe we can stick the original we went by here. We went by a little sprite sheet we got from the internet. It had like way more blues, like this kind of middle tone, but I was running out of blue, so I had to improvise a little. So I took the very darker ones, which we didn't have really much of, to put them on the base to indicate like a shadow, and some lighter ones here on the top to basically like have a little highlight. I think that worked pretty well.
I think so. I think it looks pretty good.
And to like make it have something to stand on, I just like improvised a little like lawn high grass situation underneath it, which also I mean, the green gives like a nice little contrast to all the blues that are in there.
Yes, it does.
So it makes the whole thing look a little more interesting. So now we are improvising here a little. This is new for us. As you can see, we have a flattening iron here, and we need this to basically make this a permanent thing. There are methods to take this off this pegboard, which includes some say painter's tape, some say masking tape, some say you shouldn't use one or the other. I never used it like this. The idea is that you basically like put strips of tape over it, and then you can take it off, and then you can iron it that way without having to be afraid that you melt your pegboard. But in all honesty, with the few things I did, I never had issues with that. And to also be very honest, I do not trust the production quality of those cheap ones from Temu that we have here. So we thought we don't want to push it too far. And as I've never tried that out before, I'd rather try that out with proper beads at some later point.
Yeah.
If you're interested, I can make another video of this, make maybe a little elaborate more thing. We shall see. But we wanted to show how you actually iron this. You need a sheet of baking paper. I just cut off a little thing. The official beads will probably, if you buy them in the set, will come with some white paper that is similar to this, but in all honesty, I don't think it's anything else. Please don't hurt me if there are pros and cons to use baking paper, and then this happens. Oh, why are you? So you need to be very careful with this, because the slightest bit of irritation and this all falls apart. So we put this over here. We actually, for this occasion, bought a brand new flattening iron, since our old one was really not nice to show, and we just like gave it in the bin because it was also breaking badly and we were starting to injure our hands with it. So we bought this new one. We have not used it before, so this is like a premiere. Of course, if you have something that has a water tank, you should not set it to dispense water. Apparently this has been tested in the factory. There are like a few drops now forming that this thing is on, but you should probably let your water out and make sure that it does not dispense any water before you go on this. Mm-hmm. So, the theory now is pretty easy. You just basically... Is this hot? I don't feel any heat.
Well, it let out some steam when you plugged it in.
Oh. Well, let's just try it. I have it like on the lowest setting it can go. Let's see if this does anything. Seems like. Nope.
Okay.
It doesn't even feel warm.
No.
Okay, so we give this like a little more juice, I say. Let's see, let's turn up the heat. Let's try wool. Plop. Okay, it feels warmer now, it also smells. Let's try this again.
Yeah, I think it's working. Or it's doing something at least.
And here we have the issue. It's kind of wanting to stick, but this one it didn't go with. So now I'm not too sure if this is because we just simply do not give it this enough heat. I mean, you can see here it starts to melt, it also starts to warp, which apparently especially the cheaper one do. It's hot now. I never experienced warping like this with the original Hama beads. Although some people online seem to say that this also can happen. I mean, it warped like a little bit, but not like a, this is basically like a fruit dish now. Let's see if we can save this maybe. Should I give this a little bit more heat?
Just try, doesn't hurt.
Let's put this, let's put the heat up. Let's put it to cotton. This will be hot now. This will be very hot now. Oh, look at that.
Aha, it adhered.
Okay, so I'm not sure how well this one is sticking because this was the one that actually tried to escape us. So I want to leave this a moment to give this a good chance not to break when I flip this over. Normally, if you do it with the other method, you can also just like leave one side unironed and you can like glue it to something else for support, which gives a very defined look. I mean, you will see when I turn this around how this will look like, hopefully. If not, everything falls apart. Okay, let's give this a try now. If this does not work, there we go. I don't want to push this too much now. Okay. Technically, if this wasn't warped like a dish now, you could leave it like this, but since we have an issue here now, I will try to also iron it from this side. In good hope that it maybe counters the effect a little. Waving it some air so that it cools down a bit. I can tell it's still warped.
Yeah, it's still warped.
Yeah, the ones on the side and the ones up here do not seem to melt so well. Let's try. Let's give this another try. I've been reading online that especially with these cheap ones that you also can buy on Amazon and other places, people keep complaining that they are not as melt happy. But also keep in mind this is a bit of an awkward situation to do this in. We are filming now, we are on a table. Normally I would do this like on another surface. No, I don't want to.
They're not melting.
I don't know why. Let's keep this board off. But you can see this is fine now. Of course, I did not push as hard as I probably could have or should have, I don't know. But this is how I actually know this to work. So, I mean, the board, it's a little warped now. I can feel it. But it still works, it still does the job. So you're probably, if you're doing stuff like this, you're probably better off than to do it like people suggest and like do the stripe method, which I will try out in a later video. I'm actually very curious now how this works with actual regular beads. So we shall see how that works. So I'm just gonna, and another one is like.
So you never had any of yours do this?
I've never had any of mine do this, no. Never had any issues with this.
Oh, then it's these cheap beads.
I'm just gonna press a bit down now. Well, I think it's not going any better here.
So it's more melted.
Careful, it's hot.
It's more melted over there than over there.
I mean, maybe I haven't been giving equal pressure. I give this the benefit of the doubt. This might have been me now. This might have been this flattening iron. Since I am not used to it, I probably will have to use it for a while to actually find out its little quirks, because, you know, especially cheaper devices are sometimes a little particular when it comes to this kind of thing. But this basically, I can tell that what we have seen here now is also like what a lot of people say when you go to Amazon, when they sell these huge sets that come from China that have no brand name, that some do not melt correctly, some, like this specimen, just fall off and you can't get them on. I mean, it's not so bad in this case, but it's a bit of a pity. So do we recommend these? I have them here under the table. I'm just gonna like put this one up. No. Why? Because A, they are not cheaper, and B, the quality is a little questionable. Yeah. So you are probably, if you want to start with this, you're probably better off if you find a good starter kit by, I know that if you live in the United States, you can easily get Perler beads, which everyone swears by. In Europe, you probably easier find Hama beads, which in my opinion are also absolutely fine, and they also handle better. You have been sorting my old beads and you said that the colors are also more defined.
Yes, I'm not having any problems telling the colors apart, not like the red here that we
Yes,
have.
you can see it very nicely here on these two. This is a different tone than this one, but for some stupid reason you cannot really see it that good in daylight. You only see it under this artificial ring light that we use to film. So it's very weird. But yeah, bottom line, don't try to go cheap and it ends up being more expensive. Buy something that is good, buy something that people suggest online, because a lot of people have this hobby and they know what's going on here. Don't cheap out. In the end, you just pay on top of it.
Exactly, and then you get problems where it's not even melting.
Yeah. Again, I do not know if the melting bit is maybe also here my fault, because again, this is like a bit of an unusual situation. I would normally not do this sitting on a couch table, but yeah, it basically, it just like it looks like what people are reporting in their reviews on Amazon about those cheap ones. So yeah, if you like this, even though it didn't work out quite in the end, but if you like this kind of content, if you want to see us doing more stuff with the actual stuff, not with this cheap stuff, then just please leave us a comment, like the video, you know the drill.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it for this video. We hope to see you soon. Bye.
Goodbye.